thank you to DKT Team Delhi Knowledge Track is something that I used to binge watch जब पहले, even though when I had started full-fledged preparation. The most authentic source of topper videos where it's too raw, unfiltered, and where people are extremely honest is Delhi Knowledge Track, and it has a compilation of almost all the toppers of across the years. So that's your one-step solution if you want to devise a strategy plan or get some inspiration or get some idea from. So thank you DKT to give this platform to share my strategy, and it felt surreal and it felt very satisfying to work with you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is S. Priyadarshini. I come from Coimbatore district of Tamil Nadu. I have secured 82nd rank in Indian Forest Service in the 2023 exam, and I would like to sharing about my prelim strategy. The first thing which you have to concentrate is completion of the NCERT subjects, the basic 5 books of polity, environment, geography, history and economics, and after that newspaper reading is very mandatory. And from my journey I took 8 attempts to clear the Indian Forest Service prelims. In my 9th attempt, that is my last attempt only, I was able to clear the prelims. The main reason why I was not able to clear the 8 attempts preliminary exam for the Indian Forest Service is because I was not having a clear idea of how to approach with the help of previous year question papers. The PYQ is playing a very major role in clearing the prelims exam, and I have already cleared civil service exam, preliminary of civil service exam in the year 2016, 17 and then in 2020, but I was not able to clear it for forest service. In 2023 what I did was, I was only focusing for 40 to 45 days for my exam, because I had also given other exams since I had appeared for interview in 2017 and 20 in civil service. So I tried to just allocate 40 to 45 days because I was appearing in other exams. The main thing what I did in 2023 prelims is only focusing on the PYQ and then also intensely following the newspaper. Newspaper was something which I followed throughout my preparation, but PYQ's importance I cannot emphasize more, because in civil service or forest service prelims, most of the time UPSC will try to follow a trend, and based on the trend only the questions will be repeated every year. Maybe if you don't get the same question also, you will be getting similar questions from same area. So you have to focus on which area is concentrated by UPSC in all the previous attempts. And additionally, you should also give importance for the mock test. Since I had taken so many attempts, I was able to just give very few mock tests last time, but I would suggest that giving ample number of mock tests will help you in having a clarity on how much you have read. And one more thing about prelims preparation is that you should keep your preparation as small as possible. You should not read more. How much ever effort you put in the wrong direction by reading lot of books, it is very difficult for you to clear this exam. So my suggestion will be, you have to focus only on the basic books. For example, in history, if modern India you are focusing on spectrum, you have to only focus on spectrum and revision on inside the spectrum book only. And when you are focusing on environment, for example, if you are following PMF IAS, in my case I followed Shankar Academy's environment book. You should only keep repeated revision with that book. You should not go to some other source, because the basic information which you are reading from one book, it will not be different from the other book. So you should be thorough with whatever basics are given in that book. And similarly it applies for even Lakshmikant for polity, and in case of history and geography, especially geography, you have to focus more on 11th and 12th NCERT along with other NCERTs from 6th standard, because you get the question in overlapping manner with geography and most of the time environment. They ask about a national park and what river is flowing inside that. So the map, importance of the map cannot be emphasized more. More you see the map, more you have the pictorial memory, at least you can solve 9 to 10 questions in prelims. Somewhere or the other map will be involved in your question paper. So I would be suggesting you have to see more of world map as well as India map, and in India map focus more on the rivers and also the mountains. So for the beginners who are preparing for the prelims exam, try to complete all the NCRTs first, at least the basic NCRTs of all the subjects, and then you have to go for the books which are very standard like Spectrum or Lakshmikant. Once you complete the NCRT, you will have a clarity, and then you can start solving the mock test. When nearing the exam, you have to focus on full subject mock. For example, if you are preparing polity for maybe 1 week, you can go give polity test, full paper test. You will know where you are lacking in polity. But when you are doing this exercise, you should also have the knowledge about previous year questions. So it is best advised that you see the PYQ at least from 3 months before the prelims exam, so that when you are giving the full test in polity or full test in environment or history, you will know where you have to concentrate more in the mock test questions also. Sometimes the questions which are overlapping with the previous year in the prelims, you can give more focus on that. Likewise, you can complete all the subject mock test, and then you can go for giving your full test, full length test of all the subject. And lastly, when you are giving mock test, give as many diverse mock tests as you can give, because it will help you in thinking very differently. When you are following only one mock test or one institute mock test continuously, you will not have that diversity how the questions will be asked. Nearing the prelims, it is better to have a vast revision. At least twice or thrice you should revise the Spectrum book in the last 10 days. So when you are continuously seeing the events, the chronology, you will be in a position to answer better. And coming to the mind state near the prelims, most of the times what will happen is before 1 week or 10 days of the prelims exam, whatever we have read all these days, we tend to have a kind of low confidence because exam is nearing. But the actual fact is that whoever is having that confidence that they will be doing the exam well, because when you are preparing for 1 year, you should have that confidence that you will be able to do the exam well. Only you have to self-motivate yourself, because it happened for me in 2018 and 19, wherein I did not clear the prelims after my 2017 interview. Same thing after 20 civil service interview, I didn't clear 2021 and 22 prelims. 22 it was because of CSAT, but otherwise there was a lack of confidence that I didn't prepare much. That kind of thought should never come to your mind. Always focus on the process, definitely you will be getting the result. There will be no question in prelims exam which will be very difficult coming from some current affairs notes. For one fact, you don't have to revise so many institute current affairs. It is always best to follow your newspaper regularly. Alongside, you can follow any one current affairs material whichever you feel confident about. Don't try to read 2 to 3 institute current affairs. It will become very difficult for you to revise. When you are reading one material, no current affairs material, it is best advisable that you should revise it many times before the exam. Maybe you can take 15 days. Last 15 days before the prelims, you can take one current affairs material. For example, if you are taking polity, very fast you should go across the polity current affairs, PT 365 for example. If you are doing this for 5 or 6 days, you will be completing one cycle of current affairs material. Again, next week also you should do the same. So when you are seeing the materials for 2 to 3 times before the exam in that last month, fact will be fresh. You will be very confident that you are covering all the current affairs, and also you will have the confidence that you have read the newspaper. End of the day, 50% and plus of your performance, it depends upon how your exam hall behavior is. How much ever you invest in studying, on the day of exam you should be very cool and calm, so that you can focus more on the question rather than having a passive thought of how difficult the exam will be, whether you will be clearing or not. So this is about the GS. Speaking about the CSAT, CSAT was little bit becoming difficult from the year 2020, but again in 2023 it was the most difficult paper. Always the best safer side for GS or CSAT is to attend lot of questions, because nowadays the questions we are not very sure about the answer key, what UPSC will give as the key. So it is better to take a good amount of calculated risk. If you are preparing for 1 year or 2 years or more than that for this exam, you should have a self confidence that you will be in a better position to attend lot of questions. You should not be fearful and you should not attend very less number of questions. So this will also help, and CSAT needs a lot of practice. Last 3 months you should intensely practice at least in the afternoon 1 hour. If today you are solving it for 1 hour or 1.5 hours, tomorrow you should see the answer key for that. Rest of the time you can allocate for GS. Like that, if you are doing every day, you will be a little thorough with CSAT. And again, number system is playing a very important role in CSAT. Please focus more on the number system. About my journey, how I sustained for so many attempts in appearing for this exam again and again. The main pushing factor was that in my first attempt I was not able to clear the prelims in 2015. In 2016 I didn't clear the mains, and in 2017 I was able to go to the interview. I was not able to clear the interview. So when I was appearing again in 2018 and 19, because of my drop in confidence, I was not able to clear the prelims. But that thought that this exam you can clear, and since I had appeared for mains and interview, it did not leave me to withdraw from the process. So it is always important for you to focus and also have a lot of self motivation in the process. It is very difficult to get it from outside, so you have to keep on self motivating and be very regular. You have to have that commitment every day. If you are reading for at least 3 to 4 hours every day also, for working people especially or married people, it is fine. You can just allocate 4 hours, but it should be every day the same process. You should not give 7 hours today and not read for 2 days. Morning newspaper reading, it should be a habit. Maybe half an hour you should focus on newspaper reading. After that you can start your day with prelims and also mains optional. So you should do this. And in my last attempt, again it was my last attempt, but I was having the mindset that somehow I can clear this exam. So you should have that kind of confidence which will only help you to sustain for so many years if there are senior aspirants who are preparing for this exam. Please do not withdraw from the process that you did not clear the prelims twice or thrice, because there are many examples from senior aspirants also who cleared this exam who had not cleared 4 to 5 prelims continuously. So it all depends upon how you are strategizing and how you are working smartly for this exam, because last attempt I prepared only for 40 to 45 days honestly, but I was able to clear with the forest cutoff only because I was concentrating more on the PYQ. And the senior aspirant should also know that you will be having a lot of accumulated knowledge which will help you to clear this exam, even if you are not prepared so much after your interview failure in that small gap. In that 15 days you have to focus more upon the static portion. Whoever is appearing for interview and again giving prelims, when they are not able to clear the interview, they should focus on only 5 books, that is Lakshmikant and economics, whatever books you are referring to. I was referring to Shankar Ganesh, and for environment, as I told, I was referring to Shankar Institute environment book, and for history and geography the NCERT and Spectrum. For ancient and medieval I referred only to the NCERT, and for art and culture Nitin Sinhania if possible. So these books alone, once you revise and then if you go thoroughly, like if you go a little confidently, you will be able to definitely clear the prelims. And prelims is more of a mind game. So even in CSAT, rather than getting worried about whether you revised the formula or not, people who attended the interview, they should be having mental strength. Already they have cleared CSAT. So they should focus more on the 2 hours, how to complete at least 45 to 50 questions in the 2 hours, because RC you will have 27 questions. And in reading comprehension, you can actually find that there is a trend, or there are certain extreme words which can be easily eliminated. You have to identify that from previous 5 to 6 years of the question paper. Once you know those words, you can very fast you can read the passage also, and you can eliminate those words, the options which are having those words, which will save your time. And people who are attending more of maths questions, you can focus more on the number system. So instead of worrying about that time is going fast, you should focus more on how to solve this sum, understand the question and approach the exam in that way. So this is about CSAT. I had my optionals as geology and forestry. If somebody is appearing for this exam only for Indian Forest Service, they will be having a lot of time. At least after prelims, they will be having 3.5 months, which is a ample sufficient time available to prepare for both the optionals. Regarding forestry, it is always important for you to know the syllabus properly and have the source segregated. Even if you are not able to take notes, I refer to Hornbill material, and for very few topics I refer to Manigandan book also. You can refer to materials which is having which you have confidence on. Maybe for example, Hornbill material will help you to, it will be segregated, so it will help you to read all the content along with the question answer format. Previous year questions were also given in the Hornbill material. This is what I followed for forestry. I didn't go for any classes in regards to forestry. And coming to the geology optional, I undertook the classes from Planet Geology. I undertook a comprehensive course in Planet Geology, but there are also crash courses. For people who are appearing after the civil service mains, they can take that course and they can go through that full subject in maybe 30 to 40 days. And if you have sufficient time, if you are giving only forest service, it is always advisable to take notes from either crash course or the comprehensive course, so that you will be having the habit of writing. Regarding the optionals, you have to know the language of geology, you should know the language of forest. For example, if you are writing forestry answer, there has to be lots of technical terms used. For example, again, you have to use lot of tree species names, and when you are writing the tree species, you should underline it because it is a scientific name. These nuances will come only when you start taking notes. And also when you are going for geology preparation, it is advisable for you to take notes and study, so that many technical terms will stay in your mind. So this is about geology and forestry. For both the exams, try to use as many color pencils or color pens as possible. English is also one important area which you have to focus. English and GK will help you to score very well. If you notice, many of the students or aspirants who are studying, who are coming from civil service and again appearing for forest service, they will be having edge with English and GK paper. Coming regarding GK paper, the general knowledge paper will be carrying 300 marks. There is broadly 6 themes present in the GK paper. You have to focus on each theme. For example, in history, there is a particular trend followed in forest service mains. You will be asked questions in certain areas. So you should be very aware of which areas they are asking questions. Those particular dynasties, for example, Gupta dynasty or Maurya dynasty, if they are asking, or Chola dynasty from ancient India, you should focus more on that. So when they are asking about whichever dynasty, you should be thorough about that particular part. And similarly, you have it for environment also. You have some questions very relevant with geography. Please see the previous year 4 to 5 years question paper for GK, so that you will be having a ready-made content. If you read those questions and prepare 1 or 2 line notes for every question, this year GK you will be able to ace it with ease. So try to focus more on English and GK, which is a very important part in your mains preparation. Finally, coming to the interview part, in forestry interview, it will be a little much different from the civil service interview. You will have more of technical questions asked in the forest service interview. They will be asking questions from forestry and geology, and also your DAF should be very authentic, and you should be very honest in filling your DAF. Whatever details are given there, you should be in a position to answer all the 360-degree format, whatever questions are coming from that particular thing. So this is about the interview. And one thing which I was able to notice the drastic change in interview marks is, civil service interview I was not able to score so much of marks in interview, but in forest service I was able to score 215 marks. I feel it is solely because of you have to be very honest with the board. With their experience, they will be able to find out how much aptitude you are having for the exam. So if you are really interested in forest service, it will be easily shown in the conversation. So you have to give facts, and you have to prepare properly, and if you are very honest, you will get lots of marks. Thanks for this opportunity given by DKT. Thank you.